Hello and welcome to A Muggle's Perspective. I am Rogge and this is Braden.
I am Braden.
Nice. That was just off the top of our heads, we just kind of going back and forth there. You hear me roar? Is that what you're going to say?
Yeah. It felt natural to say that. I am coming to you live from my kitchen.
Yeah.
So sound quality could be weird, and so I apologize to you, listener, for that. I am puppy sitting our new dog, Cooper. He cannot be trusted in any other rooms of the house. He is not potty trained yet.
He's only allowed in the kitchen?
Yeah, the kitchen has hardwood, and we try really hard to keep him in there as much as possible. He has been in on the carpet a little bit, just in short spurts, but I don't trust him right now at all.
So I'm impressed that you were able to bring up Cooper before I was, because my next sentence was going to be asking to see Cooper and ask for Cooper-based information.
Yes, so Cooper is asleep directly beneath my chair, and so I cannot get the computer probably at an angle to where you could see him. Mm-hmm. Maybe by the end of the episode, he'll wake up and I can hold the computer above my head or something. Mm-hmm. And just the fact that he's asleep right now, I would love to keep that going throughout this episode. That would make this a ton easier.
Yeah. So Cooper is your recently acquired 12-week-old?
Yep, he's about 12 weeks. We've had him for 2. He is a mix. His dad is a golden doodle. Mm-hmm. His mom is an Australian Shepherd lab mix.
Okay, so there's a lot going on.
He's got 3 breeds in him. He looks like a lab in the face and is the fluffiest, poofiest dog.
Yeah.
I think he's wavy, not curly necessarily, like a golden doodle.
George is pretty wavy as far as golden doodles go.
Yeah, most golden doodles we've been around have the tighter curls. Mm-hmm. His is just it's just fluff. It's super wavy and big.
And you don't know, you don't know where it'll go from here, right? Because this is just him as a puppy, but
right. Yep. So I think he's going to end up being a big dog. Oh. He's got some big old paws on him.
Big old paws.
He's kind of a chunk right now, which most puppies are, but he's everybody that sees him is oh, he's going to be a big dog. It's oh boy, what did we do?
Everyone did with George. No, that's what you want. You don't want to wake up in this, lab mix that you were getting ends up being 30 pounds. That's not what I want.
Yeah. We were kind of shooting for the mid-size, we met his dad, we met his mom, and we thought neither of them are huge, so he'll be a good size. And he's got some sort of weird mutant genes, I think, because his brothers and sisters were very small puppies, and he's just he's the boss of the litter, I guess.
George was the runt of the litter and is right about 70 pounds.
Yeah. Yeah, which he's full golden doodle, right?
George is half red poodle, half golden retriever. So yes.
Okay. Yeah. Yep. Cooper is super blonde. Mm-hmm. I would say he looks like a lab and acts like an Australian Shepherd.
Oh. Now where does he sleep at night?
He's got a little crate that we put in the laundry room, and he sleeps with his stuffed dog named Steve.
Oh.
And then the owners, the breeders, gave us a little stuffed animal that smells like his mom.
Nice.
That we put in there too.
Nice, and he likes that. And he just curls up.
Yep, he just kind of lays his head on top of that one, and then mostly just chews the crap out of Steve.
Good.
Yeah.
We did the whole, I don't know when he's going to teeth in the next month or so, but we did a frozen washcloth.
Oh man, he's been teething hard. Yeah? We have really enjoyed him so far, but he goes into these I call them mindless modes, mm-hmm. where the teething just takes over and he has no brain and he can't hear you, he can't think. He doesn't respond to food. He's just I'm going to bite and chew everything. Mm-hmm. And so at those points, we mostly just take him outside and let him run and chew on sticks and stuff.
Yeah.
because you can't play with him when he's in that mode. He's just gonna hurt you.
Oh,
So
his sharp little puppy teeth.
oh man, he's got sharp little puppy teeth, and he doesn't mean to, but it starts to really hurt.
Yeah.
And so he's trying to learn that like it's okay to nibble, but you can't bite. And here are the things you can chew on. Here are the things you can't. He's struggling with that a little bit.
There's a lot to pick up there.
So you said you did a frozen washcloth?
Yes.
We've been told to try carrots and ice cubes.
Sure. Oh, yeah.
Carrots.
George still loves ice cubes.
Yes. Carrots entertain him for like 10 minutes, and he mostly just shreds them into little smithereens all over the floor.
And doesn't consume them.
He consumes like half a carrot. Like if we give him one carrot, usually half of it's gone. The rest of it is just in shards all over the floor, which is super fun. And then ice cubes, occupies him for, 10, 15 minutes. And then he goes and finds a leg of a piece of furniture and goes to town on that. So
the washcloth is nice because you can, it thaws out, then you can refreeze it.
Yep.
So it's kind of a reusable thing.
It's not a bad idea.
George was a little... Well, I guess we got him at 12 weeks, and he was teething not too long into that, so it's probably about the same.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. So between all that, and then we got him one of those Kong toys that we fill with like peanut butter and stuff, and that usually keeps him busy for a while. So
you can freeze those too.
Yes. We do that on days that we both work.
Stick an ice cube into a Kong toy, and then it's like, wow, a lot going on. Yeah.
Yeah.
George is pretty, I mean, he's half poodle, so he's smart. And so you need to take things up a couple notches to make it just like the more difficult the game is, the better.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. I think Cooper's going to be pretty smart. At least the odds are there with the breeds that are in him. He gets bored easily.
Yeah.
So it's been a challenge keeping him entertained. But overall, he's been a really good dog. He sleeps through the night, which is crazy.
Wow. That's awesome.
We brought him home the first night, and he cried like every 2 hours. And then after that, he slept through the night every night. So we're pretty lucky that way.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, I'm sure this won't be the last time we talk about Cooper on this podcast.
Yep, just brought him up because he is generally the reason for the weird sound quality right now. So,
well, I look forward to when he gets to meet George Weasley. I don't know if you've had him with other dogs yet or anything. George has never really met puppies, but he's met small dogs, and George loves every dog he meets. So, yeah,
as long as George doesn't bark at him, Cooper will love him. Mm-hmm. The only dogs that he does not respond to are the ones that bark at him. Mm-hmm. Like there's a neighbor dog right now that I don't think means anything, just like he sees other dogs and starts yelling at them.
Yeah.
Hey. And so he sees Cooper and starts really barking. Yeah. Like angrily. And Cooper every time just sprints back to the door and sits on the rug and just stares at me. Like, I'm not doing that. No way.
Well, it's scary.
Yeah. Yeah. But then we took him home to like my parents who have 2 golden retrievers and he had the time of his life.
Right.
Like just playing all day. Like he slept the entire way home, and we just threw him in the crate, and he slept the whole night after that. Like he was
nothing better than a tired puppy.
Oh man, that is like the goal of every day for us right now. How can we make Cooper tired?
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, so this is a podcast where we talk about chapters from Harry Potter that Braden reads for the first time. Yep. Sometimes it's becoming more of a podcast where we just talk about dogs, like sincerely. We just have like regular actual conversations about dogs. So
yeah, and we knew when we started this, it would just naturally evolve into other things. And it seems like dogs is just the direction that it's taking right now.
That's what happens with most of my conversations and relationships eventually is that they end up just being about dogs. So it was going to happen. It was bound to occur. This is a special episode. We are starting on Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. Our first episode for that particular book, one of my personal favorites. Probably top 2. Probably these next 2 are my favorite 2, is what I would say. It could just be because I read them when I was older, but anyway. Really excited for that. We're coming with a relatively short episode for you guys today. I'll be very interested to see the feedback from this episode once people know kind of how it was structured, because we've never done a live read this early in the book before. It would be impossible to have because it's on the very first episode of the book. But
yeah, I was kind of caught off guard when you wanted to do that to start this book, because I'm used to that, like for like a big chapter at the end where they end up miles beneath the school and Voldemort's alive and that.
There's still miles beneath the school, so
yeah.
I mean, I think it's probably going to get a little more. Especially in Deathly Hallows, people will be upset with me if I don't have us do live reads every other chapter at a certain point in the book. Which we'll battle and just do what we can for, and hopefully come up with some more creative options. I think it'd be really fun at some point to almost have a group of people, like maybe if we're doing it together, and like Rachel has a part, and Jeremy and Jess have parts, and Hannah has a part, and we all kind of like enact the scene or something. Mm-hmm. Just to keep mixing it up. Anyway, we're going to discuss chapter 1, The Other Minister, and then we're going to do a live read of chapter 2 that Braden hasn't read yet. Before we do either of those, we want to play a message we got on the Howler. So this person called in 978-768-8370, which is 978-Potter0. I know that because there's a sticky note on this computer. That's the only reason. I knew it off the top of my head. Well, I didn't. So we would love for you to howl and have your voice heard, like this person, who you'll never be able to guess.
Good evening, gents. It's Chad, Gryffindor, Hill. Just really wanted to call in and wish you all a Merry Christmas. So Merry Christmas to the both of you and to your families, friends. And I hope y'all have the best Christmas ever. Thanks, guys. Bye.
Wow.
Thank you, Chad. Timely. Honestly, for a Howler, pretty timely.
Yeah. I mean, comparatively to how our Howlers have gone in the past, very timely.
Yeah. So that's why we're trying to stay on top of it. Merry Christmas to you and yours as well, Chadillac. Did you have a good Christmas, Braden? We probably haven't really talked about that much.
Yeah, yep, it was a good Christmas. Hannah had to work Christmas Eve, which is a bummer. Hopefully that never happens again. Mm-hmm. Nothing like super exciting. I got Rock Band, which is hilarious and awesome.
For Xbox 360?
Yes.
So
I had like offhandedly mentioned one time when I was at my parents' with Hannah that like I went to a bachelor party where we played Rock Band most of the night, and like I just had the time of my life because I never had that when it was popular.
Oh, not Guitar Hero or anything?
I had Guitar Hero, but I never did like the drums and stuff with Rock Band, and I played it at this bachelor party and was just all about it. Mm-hmm. And my parents have this thing where like they really want to still get their kids toys, no matter how old they get.
That's so cute.
They like work really hard at figuring out a way to still get me and my sisters a toy every year. And so when they heard me talk about Rock Band, they literally searched high and low, like on Facebook Marketplace and Craigslist.
Of course.
And like met a guy in Zionsville at a gas station to buy Rock Band.
Yeah.
So
and it works.
Kudos to my parents.
You got a good drum set and a mic.
Got a good drum set. Don't have a mic. It didn't come. The guy didn't have a mic. So still got to get that.
Yeah, we'll get you.
Still need a second guitar. All I have is a guitar and drums right now.
Okay. That's amazing.
Yeah, it's fun.
I've played very little Rock Band. I've played a lot of Guitar Hero. Mm-hmm. So you, me, Hannah, and Rachel can really jam out.
Absolutely.
From Mo's perspective. No,
I need to round up another guitar or mic.
What are the names that we came up with? Cauldron.
Cauldron with a K, right?
Yeah, with a backwards K.
With a backwards K.
And like snakes, slithering snake skins, or something like that.
There was one that was like there is a band called the Malfoys, right?
Draco and the Malfoys, I think, is a real
Draco and the Malfoys.
Yeah, wizard rock band. Harry and the Potters. And there's one that's like the Remus Lupins, I think.
I feel like just Sirius, spelled Sirius.
Yeah.
Is it like a cool, like alternative rock band name?
Right. Like an Incubus kind of vibe from a name perspective.
My mom is a preschool teacher, and she told me that one of her students this year is named Sirius.
No way.
Spelled like Sirius Black.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Like named after Sirius Black, like intentionally.
I would have to assume so. I mean, why else would you do that
It's named
to
after,
a child?
named after the dog star. The parents are really into astronomy.
Hey, maybe. I don't know. But my mom's not familiar with Harry Potter at all, so she was just like talking about how she couldn't figure out why you would do that to a child. And I didn't even want to try and explain to her that, like,
well, you can do it. Just do it on air.
okay,
Let's call your mom. Give me your mom's number right now, and I'll call
I'll never
her.
do that to you. I'll never
Do that to
give you my
me.
mom's phone.
You meant to her.
To her is what I meant to say.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Because it would be you see it as a punishment to her to have to talk to me, and I get it. I don't know if I've ever met your parents. We've talked about this before. I don't know that
they don't get out a whole lot.
Did I go to your open house? Your high school open house? Where was it?
Probably. It was at Wabash.
Yes, I did go to that. Don't know if I met your parents though. Rude of me.
You probably did.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, I don't remember it. Is it possible? Would you say your parents? It would be not shocking that someone met them and didn't remember them.
Yeah, that would be pretty typical. I mean, they're not like, they don't have big personalities or anything, like just kind of average.
I don't know who you could possibly be referring to that would have really noticeably memorable parents with big personalities.
I feel like most of our friend group from high school had like parents with distinct personalities, like the Zarowskis, your parents,
yes. Right? My parents,
the Ehrlichs,
sure. The Ehrlichs, yes. But
yeah.
In contrast, Hannah's parents, not as much.
I mean, that's a conversation for a different podcast.
I mean, I like Hannah's parents. I guess I don't. No,
I do too.
In my interactions with them, it's not blow you away with big personality, kind of like my parents. Yeah, so that's all I would say, I guess. I'm sure you know them a lot better, and you're like, oh no, you really got to get, once you're 4 bowls of popcorn deep.
Yeah, I mean, I think anybody, you could say that about anybody.
Yeah, of course.
If you get to know them really well, there's quirks and stuff to personalities.
Which is what I want with your parents. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I guess. I want to get to know your parents really well.
I don't know why you want that.
Because I want to talk about you with your parents. I want to consistently get your sisters' names wrong. With your and ages. One of them is still in like 4th grade in my head. Because you have much younger siblings.
I have my youngest sister is a freshman at Purdue.
No, false. Don't agree with that.
No, I don't either. I'm in total denial.
Yeah.
Every time I see her, I'm always like, so how is middle school?
And she rolls her eyes and doesn't talk to you. Just walks away from you.
Yeah, she does roll her eyes. Mm-hmm. We have a pretty similar sense of humor, so she usually gives it right back to me.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Big personality.
Yeah.
I'd like to meet her someday. Come on the pod, actually. Give me your number. Just to call for the pod. I don't know. See, I sound like I would be texting your mom all the time. I would just want her to come on the podcast once. Like my mom came on the podcast. Mm-hmm. I'd be like, Braden, Mrs. Carpenter, which is what I would call her.
Yeah.
Mrs. Carpenter, what's your understanding of what this is? Of what's happening right now? Just broad strokes. What do you think?
And I think she would respond with,
who do you think I am?
Witchcraft? Is that what this is? I made my mom sound like she's from rural Arkansas. She's not. But
just walk me through who I am and what Braden's been doing for a while, and vis-a-vis this thing going on right here.
Yeah, I think that goes super well.
It would amuse me. There's almost no way it wouldn't amuse me.
I can't argue with that.
She would have to, if she started crying because you were so upset with me. I would feel bad. And that's the only scenario where I wouldn't be amused, I think. If she was mad, I would be amused. Yeah.
I probably would be too, in a weird way.
Yeah. So let's make it happen.
Yeah.
I can find someone that has your mom's number. Does Steven Sells have your mom's number?
I can't imagine why he would.
Okay. Well, I'll figure it out.
Yeah. So, chapter 1.
Anyway, happy Merry Christmas to you too, Chad. I hope you had a good Christmas. We've got another howler that'll come up later. This is a really short episode because we're moving through it so efficiently. I feel like we say this every week, but this is what you signed up for, listeners.
Yeah.
Do you think there's anyone that skips ahead to the Harry Potter talk? Maybe.
I don't know. One of your friends told us that the Harry Potter talks is boring and that I'm not exciting enough. So maybe she just tunes in for the banter.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Just the banter. Just the banal conversations about raising puppies.
Raising puppies.
Well, have you tried this brand of dog brush? Because I really felt like the tips of
a puppy dad's perspective.
Yeah. Don't get me started on that being a real thing that we do. Okay. So this is chapter 1, The Other Minister. The first chapter of Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. First thing that jumps out to me, I don't know if it's the same for you, is the perspective shift. Very, very rarely have we not been in Harry's head. I think this is only the second time ever.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So didn't know if you had any thoughts about that.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely takes on a different feel immediately. Mm-hmm. And I kind of hope there's more of that this book. It's not that I don't enjoy being in Harry's head and kind of thinking from that perspective, but I think we're ready to graduate from that.
It just keeps it fresh.
Yeah, yeah.
And I guess we should just quickly have you run through kind of the plot, what happens in this chapter.
Yeah, so as we were talking before we started the show, it's kind of a recap for adults. I mean, every book kind of has to start with some kind of recap. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's just natural. And I think this is a more interesting way to do it by, like you said, shifting perspective. And it's kind of a passive way of here's what's happened in the time lapse between books or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's kind of done by way of a conversation that seems odd and that we didn't know was a conversation that happens regularly. Mm-hmm. So
keeps you on your toes.
For me, this whole chapter was oh, what the heck? The leaders of the wizarding community talk to the leaders of Muggle community. Mm-hmm. I didn't know that was a thing. So it's kind of an interesting passive, here's everything that's been happening. And here's also a side of politics that you didn't realize was a thing.
Mm-hmm. And it works. You're not reading this and you're no, I'm taken out of it. The logic doesn't compute. You're okay, the ministers talking, they would have to talk to each other. It's not all the time, but occasionally for big things.
Well, for me, it was just more that oh, the British Prime Minister acknowledges that this is real. That's interesting.
Well, he didn't at first. I mean, and we can talk about each of the different times Fudge shows up, but he was definitely in denial from the get-go.
Yeah.
Let's see. I do have some notes here. I don't know how quickly I want to just jump into the parts that are new, the things that happened, like you said, in the last couple months. Mm-hmm. Versus the previous stuff. Does it put anything in perspective for you as you read back on how Fudge talks about Sirius's breakout, or explains who Harry is and Voldemort's downfall and Dementors and stuff like that? Did that give you any shift? Oh, I hadn't looked at it that way.
I mean, I guess for me, it confirmed just how much of a loose cannon the Dementors as a whole are.
Mm-hmm. We've taken them for granted.
Yeah, we've taken them for granted. I think that Fudge thinking that they were in service to the ministry was just kind of misguided at best. There's so much that Fudge, if you put yourself in his shoes, it's not like he just wasn't doing anything.
Right.
He wasn't taking any steps to try and prevent all this, but at the same time there was so much that was
what's that sound? Is that me? Is it my phone? It was
I
my
don't
phone.
hear a sound.
Okay, carry on.
Okay. There's so much.
I muted you. Unmute. It's you.
It's me.
Yeah, I think it's you.
I don't hear sound.
I disconnected my Bluetooth device. Sorry about that, Jeremy. Oh, no. We've got more. Are we good? No, it's when I talk. Can you hear it?
I don't hear anything, man. It sounds good on my end.
I'm hearing like a boop.
Is your phone like trying to grab signal?
I don't know if it was because I made you full screen. Maybe that was it. Because it's not happening now when I smallered you. That's what I took a picture of, was you on the huge screen. It was like a gigantic Braden face.
Oh, that's weird.
It was weird, but it was cute. Okay, I think we're good now.
Scoot this back a little bit.
I think we're good now. Okay, so Fudge has been taking the Dementors for granted. Mm-hmm. They're loose cannons. And I mean, like, it's pretty obvious that they're going to be on Voldemort's side. Right?
Yeah, I guess that's what is just sort of annoying about Fudge's blindness to all this, was just that, like, they clearly have an evil disposition.
Like, obviously.
Yeah, so, I mean, to think that they were going to stay in service when, like, I guess I just feel like even at the mention of a rumor about Voldemort being alive, just first things first, it would be like, okay, we need to figure out what we're going to do with the Dementors, because they are clearly inclined towards that kind of stuff, and that could be a huge weapon for him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fudge's leadership is just, he was not cut out for that position.
Yeah, that was going to be my next question. Do you have any sympathy for Fudge? By the end of this chapter?
A little, like just a little, because it's like that's a lot happened over the span of not very much time that he had to figure out how to deal with
and process.
And it's not like he had a lot of information readily available. Dumbledore isn't exactly helpful.
I mean, Dumbledore, at the end of, if you remember the very end of Goblet of Fire, Dumbledore's like, okay, Fudge, here's what's going on. Voldemort's going to come back. We need to do this and this and this.
Yeah.
And then at that point, he cuts himself off from more Dumbledore information, I think, when he shuts him down.
I think that conversation, though, needed to happen as soon as Voldemort was like, wait.
It did. That's what I'm saying, is that Harry gets back from the graveyard and Fudge is there for the Triwizard Tournament.
Because the last book we read was not Goblet of Fire. That was the second to last book.
This is 2 books ago. Yeah. And Dumbledore's like, Fudge, go deal with the Dementors right now because they're going to be an issue. And he's like, Dementors? Then who's going to guard the prison?
Yeah. So he's just generally kind of thick.
Mm-hmm.
Just not. K. Yeah. Just not like, his reputation, as we've talked about before, was just blinding him. Like, he was more worried about that than he was dealing with problems that were imminent.
Yeah, just prideful.
Mm-hmm.
It's usually what most things come down to in the end. Did you have a take on the current happenings, I guess is how I phrased it? Like, it talked about a bridge collapsing and these different murders that have occurred, that names Vance, Bones, Herbert
it's
Chorley.
Just fascinating to me, I guess, that like that's where it's like Voldemort's trying to get attention. Mm-hmm. Like, why wouldn't he just go after, like, keep putting all his efforts towards going after Harry? Instead, he wants to go make a mess in the Muggle world. Like, I don't really get what he gains from that, I guess.
It's almost like he's, trying to provoke some kind of Muggle versus Wizard altercation. Like, bring wizards out of hiding.
But why does he think that will help him?
Well, I mean, what's his ideology? Like, what's his goal? What are his goals? His goals are to not die and have personal power. And he's all about the whole pureblood thing, right?
So does he think that the Muggles can be a weapon to him? Or is he like, I want all the Mudbloods gone and I want all the Muggles gone?
I feel like it's more of that last one. It's more like, I think in some ways he's kind of ambivalent. It's like, as long as they're not bothering me, but at other times it talks in the story at large about Muggle torturing just kind of for sport. Like, that's fun. Like, we view them as less than people. So,
so he's just kind of like getting his fix in the meantime while he tries to reboot for another run at Harry.
Yeah, he's like a high functioning psychopath. Like, that's what's fun is torturings and killings and like purposely delving into the dark arts for the sake of the dark arts. And so if that takes you down to having to murder more people, or if we have to do illegal things, we can get our hands on different stuff. Yeah, just whatever gets him more power and control.
Yeah, high functioning psychopath seems to fit. That makes sense.
Yeah, narcissist.
So at this point, the Death Eaters are with him, or has he got them out doing like random missions? Like,
I mean, like, I would assume little of this, little of that. Like, you got your closest ones, and maybe you have your meetings, and yeah, he probably doesn't go out and do a bunch of legwork.
Yeah.
And because they're still behind the curtains a little bit. I mean, now that Fudge isn't Prime Minister anymore, everybody knows that he's back, so they can't just be too open about it.
Yeah.
My next question we've kind of already touched on. It was just about the intersections between the Muggle and Wizarding worlds. There was that junior minister, Herbert Chorley, who has been quacking like a duck. Didn't know if you thought that was amusing at all.
Yeah, I was kind of enjoying like a press conference on a major news network where he's like explaining things in his political voice and then just lets out a random quack from time to time. That could be a lot of fun.
That wouldn't be too out of place in our current political climate, it seems like. Or Kingsley. Kingsley's involved.
He's always involved. He's always there.
Did that surprise you?
Waiting. It seems like it would make sense, like that the wizarding community would have like wizards who are good at blending in, just kind of planted within society in random places, just to kind of keep an eye out, you know.
I like how the Muggle minister is like, I'm not gonna fire Shacklebolt. He gets so much work done. He's productive, and they're like, yeah, it's because he's a wizard. You can't just stick wizards into my cabinet. They're like, oh, I'm sorry, I thought he was doing a great job. Like, which one is it?
I totally understand though where the prime minister's coming from on that. That would be a little unsettling.
Yeah, I mean, it was deceptive for sure.
Yeah.
So we've got a new prime minister. He's kind of announced near the end here.
Rufus.
So did you listen or read?
I read.
Okay. So what's his last name?
His last name is Scrimgeour.
Yeah, that's right.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Look for Scrimgeour.
Scrimgeour.
You'll sometimes hear like a Scrimgeour.
Yeah.
Like just a little bit of a different twang at the end, but yeah, you're pretty much right on. I was hoping for like a Scrimgeour. Scrimgeour. Yeah, Rufus Scrimgeour. Impressions of him? Do you trust him? Do you like him?
I don't know that we have enough information yet. He seems very like focused, and I don't really have time to be talking to you, Muggle Prime Minister. So here's the facts. Here's what's going on. Here's what I need you to do. Stop bothering me with annoying questions. Mm-hmm. See you next time.
Yeah, or not, hopefully.
Yeah, I guess just in the small interaction we've got with him so far, like Mad Eye Moody came to mind.
Right.
Just kind of like rough and harsh and like...
Those are the descriptions it gives, like a weathered sort of face and the long hair, similar.
Yep, just facts only. Let's not mess with the other nonsense, and here's the mission. So if we're not talking about that, I'm going to go do something else.
Yeah, it's kind of like the Muggle minister says, he looks at him, he's like, okay, I get why the people wanted him instead of Fudge. Because he's going to be more powerful kind of action. It's sort of like on a sports team, how they go between player-friendly coach to a like super hard line, like drill sergeant type coach. Like it's a lot of big swings, like back and forth. Mm-hmm. So he's the reaction to Fudge.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Is there anything else that you noticed in this chapter, wanted to bring up? Any of just the little stuff that you thought was fun, like that picture, the portrait on the wall that they couldn't get down, or when Fudge turns his teacup into a hamster and he gives it to his niece?
I just thought it was amusing, the comment that we kind of get left with from Scrimgeour of just the whole, like, you guys are wizards. Why can't you just figure this out? Mm-hmm. Which I feel like at a lot of different points is what we're all thinking, or at least I'm thinking, reading through this. Like, you've got magic, so figure it out. Mm-hmm. And what you have to come back to is Scrimgeour's response. The trouble is the other side can do magic too, Minister. Yeah. So it's... Oh boy, we've got a...
oh, Cooper.
We've got a stirring pup.
Hey, Coopstar.
And I think he might be falling back asleep.
Oh, okay. What a good boy. Okay. Does he have little bones, little treats?
Yeah. Yep. He's got plenty of toys and treats, that's for sure.
Muggle's perspective is going to stop giving you guys Christmas presents and cards and start giving them only to Cooper. A little Christmas scarf. A little hat.
He did have a hat. Hannah's mom got him a little hat. We tried to put it on him, and he freaked out.
Yeah. Classic Cooper. Am I right?
Yeah. Not much for fashion.
So there's chapter 1, The Other Minister. What is it? I know you can't hear it, but I can. Please stop.
That noise is back? Same noise?
Yes.
Dude, it's dead silent on my end. Like, even the fridge isn't really going off right now.
I know, I've noticed that. Can you hear me still? Mm-hmm. 'Cause I think I muted you.
Yeah, okay. Everything's the same.
It's something on your end. Do you have something on your... It sounds like it's digital. Do you have something on your computer in the background that's trying to, like, update iTunes and QuickTime software or anything running?
Google Chrome was open. I will close it. Other than that, it's literally just Skype. So
it's definitely something on your end, because even when I turn the volume down on you, it goes down. It's so annoying.
There's a separate computer over here. I'll move that away. Hang on.
Braden, Hannah, Cooper Carpenter. Cooper Carpenter. It's okay, Coop. You can keep sleeping. Well, it's better right now. As of right now, I don't hear it. Yeah, okay. As soon as you stood up, I didn't hear anything.
Yeah, maybe the other computer was trying to pull something. Yeah, I don't know.
We know about technology. Okay. So that's chapter 1.
Can you see him?
Oh, hey, Mr. Fluff. He's lighter. He's very blonde.
Very blonde.
He's a very blonde boy.
That's him chewing on the leg of the chair.
Yeah, I can see that.
Awesome. Appreciate that, buddy.
I prefer for that chair to be in his mouth.
My pop filter. Don't do that.
Cooper Carpenter. Coop Carp.
Yeah, Cooper or Koopa Troopa.
Oh, that's a good one.
Coop Doggy Dog. Mm-hmm. We had a friend call him Pooper, which at this point is fairly accurate. Yep. Sir, please do not chew on that. No, eat Steve. There we go. Yep. That works. All right. So the noise is gone?
Yep. Right now I'm getting just the bottom half of your face, the bottom right half. So maybe like lean yeah, there it is. Okay. That's just
my bad.
That's just for me.
Sure.
Not for anyone else. Okay. So now we're going to read chapter 2.
You muted yourself.
Oh, cool. Now we're going to read chapter 2. And we're going to switch it up a little bit. You're going to be reading for the most part. I'm going to stop you after the first page, and then again after after page 19. I'm going to stop you, and then I'm going to. Okay, you left. Can you hear me still?
No, I'm here.
Okay.
I'm here.
And I'm going to stop you again after page 21, just for a couple little quick questions, and then at a certain point, I don't want to give more details than I have to, but at a certain point, I'm going to jump in. Doing dialogue for a certain character, and you'll just do the other parts, and I'll just continue speaking for that character. And then, as usual,
please tell me it's Hermione.
And then, as usual, whenever you have something to say, any kind of thought you want to pause, feel free to do so and give us your thoughts.
Okay.
I'll stop and force it if I have to, but by all means, if you have a thought, just give it.
Okay.
So this
I sound okay?
Yeah, you sound good to me.
Okay.
Do you want to talk again a little? Okay, I'm going to turn you up slightly.
Talking, reading.
Yeah, that's good. This is chapter 2 of Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince, Spinner's End. Does that mean anything to you?
What were those things called that Hermione used to turn back time?
Time turners.
Okay, so yep, means nothing to me.
Okay.
I'll go ahead and describe the little drawing.
Please do.
We've got cloaked figures standing at a cracked door that somebody seems to be kind of like sheepishly opening. And it kind of, the way it's drawn looks like there's like wind circling around it.
Yeah, it does.
That's how I would describe it.
I agree.
Okay, so Spinner's End. Many miles away, the chilly mist that had pressed against the Prime Minister's windows drifted over a dirty river that wound between overgrown, rubbish-strewn banks. An immense chimney, relic of a disused mill, reared up, shadowy and ominous. There was no sound apart from the whisper of the black water, and no sign of life apart from a scrawny fox that had slunk down the bank to nose hopefully at some old fish and chip wrappings in the tall grass. But then, with a very faint pop, a slim, hooded figure appeared out of thin air on the edge of the river. The fox froze, wary eyes fixed upon this strange new phenomenon. The figure seemed to take its bearings for a few moments, then set off with light, quick strides, its long cloak rustling over the grass. With a second and louder pop, another hooded figure materialized. Wait.
Any guesses as to who these two figures are?
I'm going to say Voldemort and Mr. Malfoy.
Okay.
The harsh cry startled the fox, now crouching almost flat in the undergrowth. It leapt from its hiding place and up the bank. There was a flash of green light, a yelp, and the fox fell back to the ground, dead. Yeah, Voldemort. The second figure turned over the animal with its toe. "Just a fox," said a woman's voice dismissively from under the hood. "I thought perhaps an aura. Sissy, wait!" But her quarry, who had paused and looked back at the flash of light, was already scrambling up the bank. The fox had just fallen down. "Sissy, now Sissa, listen to me." The second woman caught the first and seized her arm, but the other wrenched it away. "Go back, Bella! You must listen to me." "I've listened already. I've made my decision. Leave me alone."
I just love that these two women are like crotchety,
they're sisters, so
crotchety like orphanage runner maidens.
I mean, that's how I'm reading it.
Yeah, and I appreciate it.
The woman named Narcissa. Am I saying that right?
You are.
Narcissa gained the top of the bank, where a line of old railings separated the river from a narrow, cobbled street. The other woman, Bellatrix Lestrange. Oui, oui. The other woman, Bella, followed at once. Side by side, they stood looking across the road at rows and rows of dilapidated brick houses, their windows dull and blind in the darkness. "He lives here?" asked Bella in a voice of contempt. "Here? In this muggle dunghill? We must be the first of our kind ever to set foot." But Narcissa was not listening. She had slipped through a gap in the rusty railings and was already hurrying across the road. "Sissy, wait!" Bello followed, her cloak streaming behind, and saw Narcissa darting through an alley between the houses into a second, almost identical street. Some of the street lamps were broken. the two women running between patches of light and deep darkness. They were running. The pursuer caught up with her prey just as she turned another corner, this time succeeding in catching hold of her arm and swinging her around so that they faced each other. "Sissy, you must not do this. You can't trust him." "The Dark Lord trusts him, doesn't he?" "The Dark Lord is, I believe, mistaken," Bella panted, and her eyes gleamed momentarily under her hood as she looked around to check that they were indeed alone. "In any case, we were told not to speak of the plan to anyone. This is a betrayal of the Dark Lords. Let's go, Bella," snarled Narcissa, and she drew a wand from beneath her cloak, holding it threateningly in the other's face. Bella merely laughed. "Sissy, your own sister, you wouldn't." "There is nothing I wouldn't do anymore," Narcissa breathed. So that wasn't right, sorry. A note of hysteria in her voice, and as she brought down the wand, like a knife, there was another flash of light. Bella let go of her sister's arm, as though burned. "Narcissa!" But Narcissa had rushed ahead. Cooper's looking at me like I'm just a moron.
As he chews on the chair.
Yeah.
Do something rational.
Why are you not chewing on that microphone? But Narcissa had rushed ahead, rubbing her hand. Her pursuer followed again, keeping her distance now as they moved deeper into the deserted labyrinth of brick houses. At last, Narcissa hurried up a street named Spinner's End, over which the towering mill chimney seemed to hover like a giant admonitory finger. The footsteps echoed on the cobbles as she passed boarded and broken windows until she reached the very last house, where a dim light glimmered through the curtains in a downstairs room.
So whose house are we going to?
It doesn't seem like Voldemort's. It seems like they're doing this without him knowing, against his will. Didn't Bellatrix have like a brother?
She has a brother-in-law.
Brother-in-law? Was that Sirius? Or Sirius
was
is her
cousin.
actual brother.
Is her cousin. Mm-hmm.
Who's her brother-in-law?
Well, her husband's name is Rodolphus, so her brother-in-law is Rabastin.
Let's go with him. Rabastin. She had knocked on the door before Bella, cursing under her breath, had caught up. Together, I'm on the right page, right? 22? She had knocked on the door before Bella, cursing under her breath, had caught up. Together, they stood waiting, panting slightly, breathing in the smell of the dirty river that was carried to them on the night breeze. After a few seconds, they heard movement behind the door, and it opened a crack. A sliver of a man could be seen looking out at them, a man with long black hair parted in curtains around a sallow face and black eyes. Freaking Snape!
Blah, 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 blah.
Friggin' Snape! What the heck? This does not do good things for my trust in him or Dumbledore. Narcissa threw back her hood. Cooper's chewing on my toes. She was so pale that she seemed to shine in the darkness. The long blonde hair streaming down her back gave her the look of a drowned person. "Narcissa!" said the man, opening the door a little wider so that the light fell upon her and her sister too. "What a pleasant surprise." "Severus," she said in a strained whisper, "may I speak to you? It's urgent." "But of course." He stood back to allow her...
I'm supposed to be doing the Snape lines, I'm sorry. "But of course."
He stood back to allow her to pass him into the house. Her still hooded sister followed without invitation. "Snape," she said curtly as she passed him.
"Bellatrix?"
He replied, his thin mouth curling into a slightly mocking smile. Doesn't he just permanently have that look on his face? Like a stupid half smile with his lips like kind of curled? As he closed the door with a snap behind them, they had stepped directly into a tiny sitting room which had the feeling of a dark padded cell. The walls were completely covered in books, most of them bound in old black or brown leather. A threadbare sofa, an old armchair, and a rickety table stood grouped together in a pool of dim light cast by a candle-filled lamp hung from the ceiling. The place had an air of neglect, as though it was not usually inhabited. So are they having like their own kind of order of the Phoenix? Like Snape's just playing on both teams?
Bellatrix?
Yeah, the way he said that's like, I was expecting you.
But of
Snape.
course.
Yeah.
Okay,
Snape
thanks.
gestured Narcissa to the sofa. She threw off her cloak, cast it aside, and sat down, staring at her white and trembling hands clasped in her lap. Or, just for fun here, is this a late-night booty call for Snape?
Ooh. Her hands trembled as she continued to unbutton her blouse.
He just texted him, "You guys up?"
The Dark Lord said not to.
What he doesn't know won't hurt him. Staring at her white and trembling hands clasped in her lap, Bellatrix lowered her hood more slowly. Dark as her sister was fair, with heavily lidded eyes and a strong jaw, she did not take her gaze from Snape as she moved to stand behind Narcissa.
So, what can I do for you?
Gross. Snape asked, settling himself in the armchair with the two sisters. We are alone, aren't we? Narcissa asked quietly.
Yes, of course. Well, Wormtail's here, but we're not counting vermin, are we?
Weird. He pointed his wand at the wall of books behind him, and with a bang, a hidden door flew open, revealing a narrow staircase upon which a small man stood frozen.
As you have clearly realized, Wormtail, we have guests.
The man crept, hunchbacked, down the last few steps and moved into the room. He had small, watery eyes, a pointed nose, and wore an unpleasant simper. What does that mean? An unpleasant simper. Just kind of a smug.
Like a wine face.
Yeah. His left hand was caressing his right, which looked as though it was encased in a bright silver glove. Narcissa, he said in a squeaky voice. And Bellatrix! How charming!
Wormtail will get us drinks if you'd like them,
said Snape.
And then he will return to his bedroom.
Wormtail winced as though Snape had thrown something at him. I am not your servant! He screamed,
really?
Putting Snape's eye.
Really? I was under the impression that the Dark Lord placed you here to assist me.
What the frick? Yeah, boy. Okay. To assist, yes, but not to make you drinks and clean your house.
I had no idea, Wormtail, that you were craving more dangerous assignments,
said Snape silkily.
This can easily be arranged. I shall speak to the Dark Lord.
I can speak to him myself if I want to.
Of course you can,
said Snape, sneering.
But in the meantime, bring us drinks. Some of the elf-made wine will do.
Wormtail hesitated for a moment, looking as though he might argue, and then turned and headed through a second door. They heard banging and clinking of glasses. Within seconds, he was back, bearing a dusty bottle and 3 glasses upon a tray. He dropped them... He dropped these on the rickety table and scurried from their presence, slamming the book-covered door behind him. Snape poured out 3 glasses of blood-red wine and handed 2 of them to the sisters. Narcissa murmured a word of thanks, while Bellatrix said nothing, but continued to glower at Snape. This did not seem to discompose him. On the contrary, he looked rather amused.
The Dark Lord,
he said, raising his glass and draining it. Wow. So this seems relatively confirming that he is not on our team. The sisters copied him. Snape refilled their glasses. As Narcissa took her second drink, she said in a rush, Severus, I'm sorry to come here like this, but I had to see you. I think you are the only one who can help me. Snape held up a hand to stop her, then pointed his wand again at the concealed staircase door. There was a loud bang and a squeal, followed by the sound of Wormtail scurrying back up the stairs.
My apologies,
said Snape.
He has lately taken to listening at doors. I don't know what he means by it. You were saying, Narcissa.
She took a great shuddering breath and started again. Severus, I know I ought not be here. I have been told to say nothing to anyone, but... Then you ought to hold your tongue, snarled Bellatrix. Particularly in present company.
Present company?
Repeated Snape sardonically.
And what am I to understand by that, Bellatrix?
That I don't trust you, Snape, as you very well know. Narcissa let out a noise that might have been a dry sob and covered her face with her hands. Snape set his glass down upon the table and sat back again, his hands upon the arms of the chair, smiling into Bellatrix's glowering face. What's the correct way to say that? Glowering?
Glowering. Mm-hmm. Narcissa, I think we ought to hear what Bellatrix is bursting to say. It will save tedious interruptions. Well, continue, Bellatrix,
said Snape.
Why is it that you do not trust me?
100
reasons!
she said loudly, striding out from behind the sofa to slam her glass upon the table.
Where to start? Where were you when the Dark Lord fell? Why did you never make any attempt to find him when he vanished? What have you been doing all these years that you've lived in Dumbledore's pocket?
Like a tiny kangaroo!
Why did you stop the Dark Lord procuring the Sorcerer's Stone? Why did you not return at once when the Dark Lord was reborn? Why am I asking so many frigging questions? Where were you weeks ago when we battled to retrieve the prophecy for the Dark Lord? And why, Snape, is Harry Potter still alive when you have had him at your mercy for 5 years?
She paused, her chest rising and falling rapidly, the color high in her cheeks. Behind her, Narcissa sat motionless, her face still hidden in her hands. Snape smiled.
Before I answer you, oh yes, Bellatrix, I am going to answer. You can carry my words back to the others, who whisper behind my back, and carry false tales of my treachery to the Dark Lord. Before I answer you, I say, let me ask a question in turn. Do you really think that the Dark Lord has not asked me each and every one of these questions? And do you really think that, had I not been able to give satisfactory answers, I would be sitting here talking to you?
She hesitated.
I know he believes you, but...
You think he is mistaken? Or that I have somehow hoodwinked him, fooled the Dark Lord, the greatest wizard, the most accomplished legilimens the world has ever seen?
Bellatrix said nothing, but looked for the first time a little discomfited. Man, this is a vocab lesson from JKR. Snape did not press the point. He picked up his drink again, sipped it, and continued.
You ask where I was when the Dark Lord fell. I was where he had ordered me to be, at Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry, because he wished me to spy upon Albus Dumbledore. You know, I presume, that it was on the Dark Lord's orders that I took up the post.
She nodded almost imperceptibly and then opened her mouth, but Snape forestalled her.
You ask why I did not attempt to find him when he vanished. For the same reason that Avery, Yaxley, the Carrows, Greyback, Lucius...
He inclined his head slightly to Narcissa.
And many others did not attempt to find him. I believed him finished. I am not proud of it. I was wrong, but there it is. If he had not forgiven those, we who lost faith at that time, he would have very few followers left.
He'd have me,
said Bellatrix passionately.
I, who spent many years in Azkaban for him.
Yes, indeed, most admirable,
said Snape in a bored voice.
Of course, you weren't a lot of use to him in prison, but the gesture was undoubtedly fine.
Gesture?
She shrieked in her fury. She looked slightly mad.
While I endured the Dementors, you remained at Hogwarts, comfortably playing Dumbledore's pet.
Not quite,
said Snape calmly.
He wouldn't give me the defense against the dark arts job, you know. Seemed to think it might bring about a relapse. Tempt me into my old ways.
Tempt me.
This was your sacrifice for the Dark Lord not to teach your favorite subject, she jeered. Why did you stay there all that time, Snape, still spying on Dumbledore for a master you believe dead?
Hardly,
said Snape.
Although the Dark Lord is pleased that I never deserted my post. I had 16 years of information on Dumbledore to give him when he returned, a rather more useful welcome back present than endless reminiscences of how unpleasant Azkaban is.
But you stayed!
Yes, Bellatrix, I stayed,
said Snape. Said Snape, betraying a hint of impatience for the first time.
I had a comfortable job that I preferred to a stint in Azkaban. They were rounding up the Death Eaters, you know. Dumbledore's protection kept me out of jail. It was most convenient, and I used it. I repeat, the Dark Lord does not complain that I stayed, so I do not see why you do.
I think you next wanted to know...
wanted to know.
He pressed on a little more loudly, for Bellatrix showed every sign of interrupting.
Why I stood between the Dark Lord and the Sorcerer's Stone. This is easily answered. He did not know whether he could trust me. He thought, like you, that I had turned from faithful Death Eater to Dumbledore's stooge. He was in a pitiable condition, very weak. sharing the body of a mediocre wizard. He did not dare reveal himself to a former ally if that ally might turn him over to Dumbledore or the Ministry. I deeply regret that he did not trust me. He would have returned to power 3 years sooner. As it was, I saw only greedy and unworthy Quirrell attempting to steal the stone, and I admit, I did all I could to thwart him.
Bellatrix's mouth twisted as though she had taken an unpleasant dose of medicine.
But you didn't return when he came back. You didn't fly back to him at once when you felt the dark mark burn.
Correct. I returned 2 hours later. I returned on Dumbledore's orders.
On Dumbledore's?
She began in tones of outrage.
Think!
Said Snape, impatient again.
Think. By waiting 2 hours, just 2 hours, I ensured that I could remain at Hogwarts as a spy. By allowing Dumbledore to think that I was only returning to the Dark Lord's side because I was ordered to, I have been able to pass information on Dumbledore and the Order of the Phoenix ever since. Consider, Bellatrix. The Dark Mark had been growing stronger for months. I knew he must be about to return. All the Death Eaters knew. I had plenty of time to think about what I wanted to do, to plan my next move, to escape like Karkaroff, didn't I? The Dark Lord's initial displeasure at my lateness vanished entirely, I assure you, when I explained that I remained faithful, although Dumbledore thought I was his man. Yes, the Dark Lord thought I had left him forever, but he was wrong.
But what use have you been?
Sneered Bellatrix.
What useful information we had from you?
What useful information have we from you, then, Luke Skywalker? My information has been conveyed directly to the Dark Lord,
said Snape.
If he chooses not to share it with you.
He shares everything with me,
said Bellatrix, firing up at once.
He calls me his most loyal, his most faithful.
Does he?
Said Snape, his voice delicately inflected to suggest his disbelief.
Does he still, after the fiasco at the Ministry?
That was not my fault,
said Bellatrix, flushing.
The Dark Lord has in the past entrusted me with his most precious. If Lucius hadn't...
Oh, this is Narcissa again.
Fine.
Don't you dare! Don't you dare blame my husband!
Said Narcissa in a low and deadly voice. That was high and tricky, looking up at her sister.
There is no point apportioning blame,
said Snape smoothly.
What is done is done.
But not by you,
said Bellatrix furiously.
No, you were once again absent while the rest of us ran dangers, were you not, Snape?
My orders were to remain behind,
said Snape.
Perhaps you disagree with the Dark Lord. Perhaps you think that Dumbledore would not have noticed if I had joined forces with the Death Eaters to fight the Order of the Phoenix. And, forgive me, you speak of dangers. You were facing 6 teenagers, were you not?
Ooh, ouch.
They were joined, as you very well know, by half of the Order before long,
snarled Bellatrix.
And while we were on the subject of the Order, you still claim you cannot reveal the whereabouts of the headquarters, don't you?
I am not the secret keeper. I cannot speak the names of the place. You understand how the enchantment works, I think. The Dark Lord is satisfied with the information I have passed him on the Order. It led, as perhaps you have guessed, to the recent capture and murder of Emmeline Vance, and it certainly helped dispose of Sirius Black, though I give you full credit for finishing him off.
He inclined his head and toasted her. His expression did not soften.
You are avoiding my last question, Snape. Harry Potter. You could have killed him at any point in the past 5 years. You have not done it. Why?
Have you discussed this matter with the Dark Lord?
Said Snape.
I'm asking you, Snape!
If I had murdered Harry Potter, the Dark Lord could not have used his blood to regenerate, making him invincible.
Interesting.
You claim you foresaw his use of the boy?
She jeered.
I do not claim it. I had no idea of his plans. I have already confessed that I thought the Dark Lord dead. I am merely trying to explain why the Dark Lord is not sorry that Potter survived, at least until a year ago.
Can we pause right there? Cooper is crying by the door.
Pause. Oh.
I'm going to let him relieve himself.
Cry.
Shouldn't take very long.
Small bladder.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
right, so
we are on page 50. I think that you are saying, but why did you keep him alive?
Oh, it's 30 for
30. That's what it is. I can read numbers.
Okay. So we good to go?
Yep.
All right.
But why did you keep him alive?
Have you not understood me? It was only Dumbledore's protection that was keeping me out of Azkaban. Do you disagree? Do you seriously disagree? That murdering his favorite student might have turned him against me. But there was more to it than that. I should remind you that when Potter first arrived at Hogwarts, there were still many stories circulating about him. Rumors that he himself was a great dark wizard, which was how he had survived the Dark Lord's attack. Indeed, many of the Dark Lord's old followers thought Potter might be a standard around which we could all rally once more. I was curious, I admit it, and not at all inclined to murder him the moment he set foot in the castle. Of course, it became apparent to me very quickly that he had no extraordinary talent at all. He has fought his way out of a number of tight corners by a simple combination of sheer luck and more talented friends. He is mediocre to the last degree, though as obnoxious and self-satisfied as was his father before him. I have done my utmost to have him thrown out of Hogwarts, where I believe he scarcely belongs, but kill him, or allow him to be killed in front of me, I would have been a fool to risk it with Dumbledore close at hand.
And through all this, we are supposed to believe Dumbledore has never suspected you?
Asked Bellatrix.
He has no idea of your true allegiance. He trusts you implicitly still.
I have played my part well.
Yeah, this is where I lose him. Like, to think Dumbledore has no suspicion at all. I mean, I feel like that would be implying that he's pretty dumb.
So you think Dumbledore is double-timing him? Dumbledore knows that Snape is actually still on Voldemort's side?
That wouldn't shock me. That wouldn't shock me if this all ended that, like, Dumbledore has a different order that Snape's not a part of.
He's been using Snape when Snape thinks he's the one who's been using Dumbledore.
Yeah. It's one of those, like, Spider-Man pointing at Spider-Man memes.
I have played my part well,
said Snape.
And you overlook Dumbledore's greatest weakness. He has to believe the best of people. I spun him a tale of deepest remorse when I joined his staff, fresh from my Death Eater days, and he embraced me with open arms, though, as I say, never allowing me nearer the dark arts than he could help. Dumbledore has been a great wizard. Oh yes, he has.
For Bellatrix had made a scathing noise.
The Dark Lord acknowledges it. I am pleased, however, to say that Dumbledore is growing old. The duel with the Dark Lord last month shook him. He has since sustained a serious injury because his reactions are slower than they once were. But through all these years, he has never stopped trusting Severus Snape, and therein lies my great value to the Dark Lord.
Bellatrix still looked unhappy, though she appeared unsure how to best attack Snape next. Taking advantage of her silence, Snape turned to her sister.
Now, you came to me for help, Narcissa.
Narcissa looked up at him, her face eloquent with despair.
Yes, Severus. I think you are the only one who can help me. I have nowhere else to turn. Lucius is in jail, and...
She closed her eyes, and 2 large tears seeped from beneath her eyelids.
The Dark Lord has forbidden me to speak of it.
Narcissa continued, her eyes still closed.
He wishes not to know of the plan. It is very secret, but...
If he has forbidden it, you ought not to speak,
said Snape at once.
The Dark Lord's word is law.
Narcissa gasped as though he had doused her with cold water. Bellatrix looked satisfied for the first time since she had entered the house.
There,
she said triumphantly to her sister.
Even Snape says no. You were told not to talk, so hold your silence.
But Snape had gotten to his feet and strode to the small window, peered through the curtains at the deserted street, then closed them again with a jerk. He turned around to face Narcissa, frowning.
It so happens that I know of the plan,
he said in a low voice.
I am one of the few the Dark Lord has told. Nevertheless, had I not been in on the secret, Narcissa, you would have been guilty of great treachery to the Dark Lord.
I thought you must know about it,
said Narcissa, breathing more freely.
I trust you so, Severus. You know about the plan,
said Bellatrix, her fleeting expression of satisfaction replaced by a look of outrage.
You know.
Certainly,
said Snape.
But what help do you require, Narcissa? If you are imagining that I can persuade the Dark Lord to change his mind, I'm afraid there is no hope. None at all.
Severus, she whispered, tears sliding down her pale cheeks.
My son, my only son. Draco should be proud, said Bellatrix indifferently. The Dark Lord is granting him a great honor. And I will say this for Draco, he isn't shrinking away from his duty. He seems glad of a chance to prove himself, excited at the prospect.
Narcissa began to cry in earnest, gazing beseechingly all the while at Snape. So they're going to hire Malfoy to kidnap Harry?
Sure.
Interesting. I don't know that Malfoy possesses the wherewithal.
Well, if my guy's been straight up hanging out with Voldemort here lately, maybe he's got some new tricks up his little weasel sleeves.
His little weasel sleeves.
That's because
he is 16 and has no idea what lies in store. Why, Severus? Why, my son? It is too dangerous. This is vengeance for Lucius's mistake. I know it.
Snape said nothing. He looked away from the sight of her tears as though they were indecent, but he could not pretend not to hear her.
That's why he's chosen Draco, isn't it?
She persisted.
To punish Lucius.
If Draco succeeds,
said Snape, still looking away from her,
he will be honored above all others.
But he won't succeed,
sobbed Narcissa.
How can he, when the Dark Lord himself?
Bellatrix gasped. Narcissa seemed to lost her nerve.
I only meant that nobody has yet succeeded. Severus, please. You have always been Draco's favorite teacher.
What word were you expecting that to be? Favorite? Mentor, coach, favorite.
Long-haired, weird-looking guy.
You are Lucius's old friend. I beg you. You are the Dark Lord's favorite, his most trusted advisor. Will you speak to him? Persuade him?
The Dark Lord will not be persuaded, and I am not stupid enough to attempt it,
said Snape flatly.
I cannot pretend that the Dark Lord is not angry with Lucius. Lucius was supposed to be in charge. He got himself captured along with how many others, and failed to receive the prophecy into the bargain. Yes, the Dark Lord is angry, Narcissa. Very angry indeed.
Then I am right. He has chosen Draco in revenge,
choked Narcissa.
It does not mean to him to succeed. He wants him to make your trying.
When Snape said nothing, Narcissa seemed to lose what little self-restraint she still possessed. Standing up, she staggered to Snape and seized the front of his robes. Her face close to his, her tears falling onto his chest, she gasped.
You could do it. You could do it instead of Draco, Severus. You would succeed. Of course you would. And he would reward you beyond all of us.
Snape caught hold of her wrist and removed her clutching hands. Looking down into her tear-stained face, he said slowly,
He intends me to do it in the end, I think. But he is determined that Draco should try first. You see, in the unlikely event that Draco succeeds, I shall be able to remain at Hogwarts a little longer, fulfilling my useful role as spy.
In other words, it doesn't matter to him if Draco is killed.
The Dark Lord is very angry,
repeated Snape quietly.
He failed to hear the prophecy. You know as well as I do, Narcissa, that he does not forgive easily.
She crumpled, falling at his feet, sobbing and moaning on the floor.
My only son! My only son! You should be proud,
said Bellatrix ruthlessly.
If I had sons, I would be glad to give them up to the service of the Dark Lord.
Yikes.
Narcissa gave a little scream of despair and clutched at her long blonde hair. Snape stooped, seized her by the arms, lifted her up, and steered her back onto the sofa. He then poured her more wine and forced the glass into her hand.
Narcissa, that's enough. Drink this. Listen to me.
She quieted a little, slopping wine down herself. She took a shaky sip.
It might be possible for me to help Draco.
She sat up, her face paper white, her eyes huge.
Severus. Oh, Severus, you would help him? Would you look after him? See he comes to no harm?
I can try.
She flung away her glass. It skidded across the table as she slid off the sofa into a kneeling position at Snape's feet, seized his hand in both of hers, and pressed her lips to it.
If you are there to protect him, Severus, will you swear it? Will you make the unbreakable vow?
The unbreakable vow?
Snape's expression was blank, unreadable. Bellatrix, however, let out a cackle of triumphant laughter.
Aren't you listening, Narcissa? Oh, he'll try, I'm sure. The usual empty words, the usual slithering out of action. Oh, on the Dark Lord's orders, of course.
Snape did not look at Bellatrix. His black eyes were fixed upon Narcissa's tear-filled blue ones as she continued to clutch his hand.
Certainly, Narcissa. I shall make the unbreakable vow,
he said quietly.
Perhaps your sister will consent to be our bonder.
Bellatrix's mouth fell open. Snape lowered himself so that he was kneeling opposite Narcissa. Beneath Bellatrix's astonished gaze, they grasped right hands.
You will need your wand, Bellatrix,
said Snape coldly. She drew it, still looking astonished.
And you will need to move a little closer,
he said. She stepped forward so that she stood over them and placed the tip of her wand on their linked hands. Narcissa spoke.
Will you, Severus, watch over my son Draco as he attempts to fulfill the Dark Lord's wishes?
I will,
said Snape. A thin tongue of brilliant flame issued from the wand and wound its way around their hands like a red-hot wire.
And will you, to the best of your ability, protect him from harm?
I will,
said Snape. A second tongue of flame shot from the wand and interlinked with the first, making a fine glowing chain.
And should it prove necessary, if it seems Draco will fail,
whispered Narcissa. Snape's hand twitched within hers, but he did not draw away.
Will you carry out the deed that the Dark Lord has ordered Draco to perform?
There was a moment's silence. Bellatrix watched, her wand upon their clasped hands, her eyes wide.
I will,
said Snape. Bellatrix's astounded face glowed red in the blaze of a third tongue of flame, which shot from the wand, twisted with the others, and bound itself thickly around their clasped hands like a rope, like a fiery snake. Dum, dum, dum.
That's chapter 2 of Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince, Spinner's End. Just what you thought it was going to be, right, Braden?
Yeah, we got right into it, the moment we'd been waiting for.
Which is what?
To figure out what Snape's angle is, where he's at, what team he's on.
Okay, and to what conclusion have we come?
I mean, I feel like it's pretty clear he is a spy. He's a spy trying to get valuable information about Dumbledore passed to Voldemort.
Yeah, so I actually do have my five questions or whatever here. So point one, I mean, if we back up just a little bit, it's interesting to see Bellatrix and Narcissa sort of in conflict. Do you think this indicates that there's more dissension between Death Eaters than you would have guessed? Would you ever have thought like, oh yeah, they probably argue amongst themselves and don't agree? Or did you think of them as like all kind of a monolithic, like they're on the same page?
I mean, you would have to think that there would be some hesitancy with just all the rumors and lack of communication that there has been on where he's been all this time.
Right.
But I think the more telling thing about all that was that the comment about, like, she was trying to say it without saying that, like, well, Voldemort hasn't been able to touch Harry yet. I'm thinking, I don't know what page that was on.
Like, hasn't been able to get to him?
Yeah, like, when talking about Draco going up against Harry and Dumbledore, like, she's worried not because of him taking the lead on it. It's because she fears Harry and Dumbledore.
Right. That they're going to be able to kill Draco.
Right. So I feel like that probably stirs up more tension and disbelief and hesitancy than anything. Is that, like,
it's like personal stakes.
Yeah, and like Voldemort hasn't been successful yet. So, and I think everyone, I would assume most of the Death Eaters would have thought, like, oh, now that he's got a body, like, this thing's over.
Right.
Like, Harry stands no chance.
Yeah, you're right. She said, like, even Voldemort's tried and failed. And Bellatrix is like, whoa, really? You're going to call him out?
Yeah.
Did you have any thoughts briefly about the neighborhood, the house, Wormtail being there, any of the side dressing stuff?
Did it say whether or not this was actually Snape's house? It mentioned that like it had the feeling of no one had lived there in a while.
Yeah, it's not regularly inhabited, I guess.
Yeah.
It doesn't say and they knocked on the door of Snape's house. It's where he was. I mean, Bellatrix did say he lives here in this Muggle dunghill. That's as close as it got, probably.
I guess just sort of a hideout, same as the Order has, right?
Yeah, could be. Wormtail?
Or maybe it's Wormtail's house.
That's true. So then my other 2 points here are kind of mirrors of each other. You've got Bellatrix's doubts and then Snape's response, his reasons. Did you find her doubts to be valid? As you're reading those questions, for me, I'm kind of like, yeah, that is a good point, Snape. Like, why she doubts his sincere devotion to Voldemort.
Right.
So did you think that she raised some good questions?
Yeah. No, I mean, like you said, I think the more she kept asking, the more it became like, yeah, that is interesting. Why didn't you do that? Why did you stay quiet here? Why did you help Harry here? Which I guess in some ways doesn't fully confirm that Snape is, which makes me angry saying that out loud now. But I mean, like, this is what we've been suspicion the whole time, right? Is that he's kind of he's still a Death Eater. He's a spy. He's his hatred for Harry is not hidden well, and like that hatred can't all come from just his dislike of Harry's dad. So I feel like it's way easier to believe at this point that he's telling the truth right now to Bellatrix. But I feel like JKR does leave that like sliver of light. Like, he didn't really answer all these questions all that well.
So that's what was my next question is, were his answers valid? Like, did his responses convince Bellatrix enough that she had to stop arguing? Did they convince you?
They were, they were pretty convincing. They were pacifying, if nothing else.
I mean, the biggest one is where he's like, listen, girl, Voldemort already asked me all of these questions, and he's Voldemort. So if I didn't have good answers, I'd be dead.
Well, that and like the way this chapter ends with this vow, like that seems pretty serious.
Pun. So yeah, unbreakable vow. There's 3 parts here. What's an unbreakable vow? What's Draco's involvement? And what's the plan, as you understand it? They kept talking about, don't tell him about the plan. Voldemort says not tell anyone about the plan.
Yeah. I guess I assume the plan to be Draco finding a way to kidnap Harry. Because they can't murder Harry. They need his blood. Right?
Well, they've got his blood. That's what happened at the end of Goblet.
Right.
That Dumbledore used Harry's blood. So now I think Dumbledore's pretty in favor of Harry dying.
So what was it Snape was saying he didn't kill him for then?
She was why didn't you kill Harry when he was like a first or second year? And Snape's like, well, it was because I didn't know Voldemort was coming back, and Voldemort's not mad at me for it because he ended up using Harry's blood. So it all worked out in the end. Does that make sense?
Okay.
He got to use it in the 4th book. That's why he's not mad at me for not having killed him prior to that point.
So like that's an answer that logically can make sense, but like also kind of a cop-out, which seems to be on purpose from JKR.
Braden is just like rubbing his head in his hands. Like he was so happy that he had decided that Snape was evil.
And then
now he's
you think about it and you process it and there's still doubt.
Which one, just like snap reaction in your heart of hearts, Snape is bad or Snape is good?
I feel like my snap reaction is that he is supposed to be that character that you never know.
Okay. And so which one do you think? You don't know, but it is one or the other, right? He isn't actually
that's what
both.
I'm saying. I could totally see this series ending and you don't get that question answered.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Like that seems like a JKR move
Bold
to me.
guess. Yeah.
And
sure.
the way people talk about Snape, like when you talk to Harry Potter fans,
As one
like
does.
I've talked to like my brother-in-law Mitchell, and like he hasn't done it. He no spoilers, nothing like that.
Mitch is my guy.
I've talked to him about like my frustrations with Snape, and he's just kind of like nodding and smiling, like, yeah, yep, that makes sense.
As he should. I've trained him well.
And so I feel like that's the point with Snape, and I could totally see it finishing where you don't really get a clear-cut answer to that. Which is like, I mean, is good writing. It's frustrating, but it's good writing.
It's like a series of unfortunate events, or
Yeah.
there's movies like it's like the end of Inception.
It's like the entire film of Inception. Oh, that's how. No, that's not how that. Well, maybe. Yeah.
Are you just describing the process of watching Inception? Mm-hmm. Okay.
I love that movie. I'm a big fan of that movie, but I would never claim to say I understand it.
Yeah, I don't understand any of it.
Yeah.
It's up there in movies I don't understand.
Yeah. I think it's designed that way.
So the plan is to, in some way, get Harry. We're not sure if it's getting him or killing him. But either way, it involves Draco.
I feel like Voldemort is the one that wants to kill Harry. So I guess in my mind, the plan is to use Draco to get Harry to Voldemort.
Right, he's facilitating the transport somehow.
Like,
okay.
He seems way too egocentric to just hire that out.
So maybe he's tricking Harry into going to a place, kind of like Voldemort did last book, or he's, attaching him to a port key or, whatever. Okay.
Yeah.
And you are on board with the whole thing about how it's kind of a punishment for Draco because Lucius messed up. And so Voldemort is like, oh yeah, we'll have Draco do this dangerous task.
I don't really buy that storyline.
No?
I think it's just the sneakiest way to get somebody in there who's probably has the least amount of suspicion around him.
Right. As being as young as he is, he doesn't have like government officials tracking him, breathing down his neck.
Exactly. As young as he is, and like professors like may not like Draco, but they're not going to look at him as a huge threat.
Mm-hmm. It's like how like a gang might have like a little kid that they actually have like actually hold the drugs so that when everyone scatters, the cops don't chase the 6-year-old.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Okay. The Unbreakable Vow.
Mm-hmm.
What's that?
I guess a weird spell. I don't know. Like it's a binding agreement by spell that Snape will help Draco where he can, and if Draco dies in the act, Snape will finish the job. Mm-hmm. I don't know how this, like, if Snape were to not honor this vow, I don't know what would happen. I guess just that.
What's your guess?
Bellatrix gets to beat him to death with her wand. I don't know, like what?
Yeah, that's the
it's
subtext.
So weird and unexplained. Like, all right, we both go to our knees and hold each other's hand.
Stand closer, Bellatrix. We all know.
Bellatrix, you understand. grab your wand.
Within 9 inches, please. That's the spell. She didn't even say anything. She just stood there while vows happened.
Yeah, like it's just a very awkward
Unbreakabilis Vautronum.
Yeah, so that's another JKR signature ending to a chapter. This is one of the more awkward endings.
While reading this chapter, you were like, "Yep, I get it," and they're unbreakable vowing, and this is happening, and then you finish 5 minutes later, you're like, I no longer understand what happened.
No, I shouldn't have had to think or talk about it, and then I would have walked around thinking that I understood this, and that I knew who Snape was.
Yeah, which is that he was evil.
Yeah.
Draco's here.
And I'm like 80%, but somewhere between 80 and 90% sure that he is evil.
It was previously it was a tiny sliver of light that he could be good, and now it's between 10 and 20%.
10%. There's 10% there that's like, I don't know, maybe he's a double spy. Maybe he's just a mercenary. He's just hired out. Whoever pays him the most.
Smart.
Whoever he feels he could attach himself to that will be the quickest to rise to power.
Are you just describing Wormtail? That's like Wormtail's whole story arc, right? Is there like he's going to go with the biggest bully on the block. That's why he didn't wake up until he was sure Voldemort was coming back to power. He stayed his little rat.
You little rat. I don't know. I mean,
yeah, and that could be an interesting intentional parallel. Like, let's send Wormtail to Snape's house because Snape's just doing the Wormtail move, but on a grander scale.
Yeah. I like when you explain my theories in ways that I can't, and it makes me feel like, that's what I meant, and that's what I was thinking.
That's what I'm here for.
Mm-hmm.
If I couldn't record an episode, but we really need to record, could we have Mitch do it?
I don't know.
Would he do?
I feel like he might spoil.
He might not be able to help himself.
Yeah.
I spoiled something for you once. I told you that the Ludo Bagman subplot wasn't in the fourth movie. That's what I spoiled.
So then I just completely stopped caring about Ludo Bagman.
And then
Bagman.
I just always think of Shaq saying Birdman about Chris Anderson. Birdman. Bagman. What? Something else got spoiled to you. Steven Sells spoiled something to you. It was when we were reading Order of the Phoenix, and he was like, "Oh, so have you gotten to the Battle of the Ministry yet?" And I was like, "Steven, we're in like the first third of the book. We just met Umbridge."
Oh, is she the one that gets chased off by the centaur?
By the reindeer? Have you found the reindeer yet, whether you can harness their power with your antler? They only show up at Christmas time. It's a Christmas miracle. Have you seen them yet?
Oh, you haven't? Oh, well, that doesn't actually happen.
Have they hired a new Defense Against Dark Arts teacher that looks like Snape and acts like Snape but isn't Snape? It's classic Steven. So where do we go from here? We've had 2 wild chapters. One chapter was about a Muggle prime minister who has a hamster and is scared of paintings. And the next one is also not from Harry's perspective, and it's about Snape making an unbreakable vow with Sissy. A lot of the word Sissy.
Sissy!
Bell, no.
Where do we go from here? We probably go back to Hogwarts.
Let's just have there be no Harry Potter. And this book isn't about Harry Potter, you know? Everyone else's perspectives.
I feel like the narrative about Dumbledore getting old is going to be a big deal.
You think?
In this book. Like, it's going to be the classic conversation that everyone has about Tom Brady every year. Like, yep, he's losing it.
Dumbledore versus time.
Yeah.
It's always interesting to me because it's like, I'm sorry, this guy's like 150 years old. And so at 149, everyone's like, yep, Dumbledore, greatest wizard, Voldemort's scared of him. And then he hits the big 150 and suddenly it's a steep decline. Everyone knows there's a cliff and you fall right off of it. It's like a Peyton Manning's last year in Denver situation.
Yeah. I mean, we've seen great wizards, play well for 149 years, but it seems like it's that 150 that just, it's kind of the hill that,
the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar of wizardry.
Yep.
Dumbledore would be an amazing power forward. Like the touch he would put on a little push shot or a teardrop or something.
I think he's a stretch 4. He can space the floor a little bit.
But I think of him too as like a Larry Bird, like just the no look, like wrap around, like he's going like fake pass, like the Rajon Rondo, like fake behind the back to the layup. Like it's all trickery because he's moving so slowly. He's basically a skinny Nikola Jokic.
He's definitely the one bouncing the inbound pass off the back of the turned defender to himself for a dunk.
Right.
Yeah.
He can't dunk though. He's really tall, and he just like gets on his tiptoes and lays it in.
No, he does the really annoying like super tall white guy dunk where he just jumps and like barely cups his wrist over the rim, like doesn't want to hurt it, just kind of.
Yeah.
I can do it. It's just a lot of effort to jump.
The Sean Bradley. His knees aren't great. He's not sprinting up and down the court.
Yeah. No, he hangs back. He just kind of he inbounds and jogs up behind the point guard, and then he's obviously first back to block shots.
Yeah. He's puts up some trailer threes.
Yep.
Man, I'll take Dumbledore. Guys, why is no one held in to make us make a like starting 5 basketball team?
Ooh.
Or NFL street team of Wizards?
Those are 2 very different conversations.
They are so different.
I think those are separate podcasts.
I'm really upset that no one's had me do that yet because I want to do it so badly. Okay, we actually have another Howl. You're going to be shocked as to from whom this one is. That's how sentence structure works, right? That's syntax?
Yeah. Sure.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I think so.
Yeah. Okay.
Hello, moron. As a special shout out to Braden, who said he thought someone would call in and say you guys are morons. This is Bo, and in regards to trilogy talk, there's a glaring weakness in your argument, because I don't know how to express this. The High School Musical trilogy is the greatest trilogy of any film ever, hands down, no contest.
This is such a hot take.
Now, also, the Avengers trilogy, which understandably there are 4 movies, but it's a part 1 and a part 2, so I would count that as a trilogy because it's a continued storyline between the 2 movies. Also, the Captain America trilogy, I would also put up there. Now, I also want to ruin all of my credibility because I have not seen any Lord of the Rings, Star Wars, Back to the Future, Indiana Jones, or really any others that you guys talked about.
So any of them that have made our
But
list.
nothing will ever convince me that it is without question, like not even a shadow of a doubt, hands down,
Some Stephen A. Smith coming out
High
here.
School Musical, those series of 3 films are some of the, it's the greatest series of films in film history.
Oh
And
my
it's
gosh!
not even a
Stop.
question. I don't understand how that doesn't even get a mention in your conversation.
He's not even giving
I'm
reasons.
heated. Also, Harry Potter is an anytime movie. It's a Christmas movie. It's Easter movie. It's a fall break movie. It's a Thanksgiving movie. It's a Memorial Day movie. It's a 4th of July movie. It's a
Did we lose him? Did you pause it?
My phone fell asleep.
school movie. It's an end of school movie. It's a Labor Day movie. It's all year round, anytime movie. It's a Valentine's movie. It's a New Year's movie. Any holiday, any season.
This is his best
Harry
point so far.
Potter fits in the movie category. It's just it's a Halloween movie for sure. It's just whatever
Obvious.
you want it to be. So, well, High School Musical, the disrespect, I couldn't take it. I'm very upset, and you need to know. You need to have the knowledge. So, thank you. Enjoying the show, but sometimes the idiocracy is just too much.
So, Bo spent 95 seconds just yelling High School Musical. Didn't give literally a single reason or example.
No. He did towards the end. The point about it being a film that is great for any time of year, any
Well, you said
holiday,
Harry
like, that
Potter.
makes sense.
Harry Potter, because we had been talking about, is Harry Potter a Christmas movie? What's a Christmas movie? We talked about Die Hard. I actually recently listened to this episode because I was trying to come up with a title for it. It was awful. Well, it was a good episode, but I don't like listening to myself talk. So I listened to it on times like 2.5 speed.
Mm-hmm.
But So he was like, Harry Potter can be an anytime movie, and that's fine. But why is High School Musical? What makes High School Musical so good? Is it the music? Is it the dancing? Is it the acting?
No, I love
Is
that
it the plot?
I love that he didn't explain, because I want him to call in and have a fully like well-written explanation.
Have you ever seen High School Musical? Do you know anything about High School Musical?
Yeah. Dude, I have 2 younger sisters. I've seen all.
I thought you had 3 younger sisters.
Just
I do
2.
not know your family very well.
No,
It's a struggle.
just 2.
There's a
He's
boy
right,
in it
he
that
did-
looks like,
he-
is Justin Guarini in it?
No,
Zac Efron's in it.
there is a kid that looks like Justin Guarini in it, though. It just has the same like Zero from Holes hair.
Corbin Blue.
Yeah,
Or something.
there you go.
Like
So
blue
you have
cheese.
seen it.
No,
because no one else knows that guy's name.
No, I have not seen it.
Why would
I've
anyone
definitely
know
not
that guy's
seen it?
name?
Because that guy like hosted a Kids Choice Awards, or like I've seen him. It'd
That's
been
not
like
a great reason.
It's coming. Not that I've seen it, but just like on a commercial, like this reality show for like who's gonna be the next Disney boys, like hosted by Hilary Duff and Corbin Blue.
Interesting. He's right. He does not come to the table with any credibility, considering he hasn't seen any
Yeah,
of
literally
the
any other
trilogies that made our list. With that being said, though, as passionate as he is about it, I'd love to hear him defend it. I'd love to have him call in and talk about why he feels that's one, in his words, the best trilogy in film history.
Unquestionably, without shadow
He
of a
started
doubt.
to get Stephen A. Smith on us.
That's my problem, is that I need rational, logical arguments. Like you have to tell me that like you really like how this plot is put together because of like the different turns in it, or you really like, you have to tell me what you like about it. But just yelling at me, I'm like, come on and do it, but you're not going to convince me that way. I'm not a Stephen A. Smith guy.
Yeah,
I mean, like from an entertainment perspective, yes.
Sure. So, Bo, if and when you hear this, go ahead and come up with a really good response, really well-written, thoughtful response on why you feel this way, why
Right.
you feel so passionately, why this made you so heated. Call in.
Yep.
We could even set it up to have him call in live maybe
Easy.
on the show and explain
Yeah,
this. That would be
course.
fun.
Same
And
episode
then
your
we
mom's
can-
on.
Can we not phrase it like that? Can we, and we have that kind of,
There's nothing wrong with how I phrase that.
just stop trying to get my mom on the show.
I just want to talk. I just want to talk to your mom. I like moms.
And we can just have it out. We can just have some takes about this. And I invite anyone to call in if they're like, you guys missed this trilogy. This is a great trilogy.
Or
You
call
don't
in
have
and
to
tell
feel
us
as
we're
passionately
right.
as Bo did.
Call in and agree
that
with
too.
us.
That too. Yeah. This is a fun side conversation that I'd like to keep going.
This was supposed to be a short episode. We've recorded for an hour and 51 minutes.
Yeah. There's no such thing.
Some
as
of
a
it's
short
Cooper's
episode.
fault. The Coopster.
He is back asleep.
Super Cooper. Oh, good boy. Well, if you guys would like to call in and ask some more pointed questions about Braden's dog, or to yell at Bo for yelling about High School Musical, or to wish us
More
a
yelling is
happy
always-
Memorial Day, please do. Call the Howler, which is 978-768-8370, 978-POTTER0. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram.
Thanks, Jeremy. Thanks, Jessica.
Thanks, Cooper.
Thanks, Cooper.
Surprisingly soon, you guys will be hearing from us about Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix, the movie.
The movie.
I didn't even get to tell you about all the Harry Potter board games I got for Christmas.
3 of them.
3 Harry Potter board games. Stay tuned for that content. Coop break. Guys, I found some crispy M&Ms on Jeremy's desk, so Y'all know what time it is. ASMR. Two more.
Cooper. Come on. You there?
Yep. I did some crispy M&M's ASMR, so be on the lookout for that.
Cool. All right.
What we're
where are
talking?
we at?
Did he pee? Did he poop?
He peed.
Good boy.
Now he is conging it up.
Good job, Coop.
Yeah, he's been starting to whine at the door every now and then when he needs to. So
Awesome.
that's been really, really helpful.
That's awesome. We have bells that George rings with his face.
You muted yourself.
Yep, sounds about right. How? How did I even do that? Maybe I pressed M or something?
Ah, now you're back.
We have bells that George rings with his face. So,
Yeah, we're thinking about doing that as well. We've had a couple of friends tell us that they like if it's a smaller dog, they'll like carry him to the bell and use their paw and like hit the bell with their paw. And then eventually they get used to like they'll jump up and hit it when they need to go out. So
good deal.